So I'm outside the Canadian War Museum, and it is Saturday, August the 9th, and it's day 1 of 2 of the War Machines weekend, where they're going to run the model tanks. So let's go inside and see what's going on in the place. When I walked inside, I was very pleased to see in the main hallway a display of models and a lot of modelers. In fact, I knew a lot of these fellows. The display was put on, or I should say organized, by IPMS Ottawa. Glenn, the president there, he was in charge of putting together a model display in conjunction with Tank Day, and I must say he did a fantastic job. He got Paul from the Operation Vet Build out. He got some other people involved that are very good modelers, but not necessarily part of the club, and coordinated an excellent display that walked people through models from the tune models at one end through 1/72nd scale, 1/48th scale, 1/35th scale, 1/16th scale, and right up to 1/6 scale, which is basically the action figure scale. So it was a very well put on display. I loved how it was out in the main hallway, and everybody coming and going, got to see the thing. In the past, the models were displayed down in the tank gallery in the lower level of the museum, but this time they were right out front and center. You couldn't help miss them, and it was a heck of a nice display. I gotta say, hats off to all the fellas that gave up their weekend to come out and display their models. It's things like that that put the hobby in front of the public and get new people interested in the hobby, to make it vibrant and help grow it. So I'm really appreciative of these guys for giving up their weekend to do this, and the results were excellent. The display was very nice, and I'm sure the public loved it. Okay, so last time I was here, the tanks come out down at the bottom of the hill, and they come up this road, and they zip around up here and do a turnaround, stop and pose, and they either park for a little bit so you can look at them a little longer, or they wheel back down from where they came from.
Les entendre, we are just about to get this show started. My name is Benoit. I'll be your host today. Mon nom c'est Benoit. Je suis votre animateur aujourd'hui. I'll be trying to do this bilingual, so please bear with me. And we're going to go through how this show is going to work and what you're going to be seeing today. So, je vais faire ça bilingue, soyez patients, et on va vous expliquer ce que vous allez voir et comment que ça va marcher.
That's a real
First of all,
outfit.
we are right here at the Canadian War Museum, and we're also right on the Ottawa River by the Chaudière Falls. This is a fantastic location, and we're on the unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. So this is something the museum recognizes and honors. Indigenous military history is also Canadian military history. Nous sommes ici au Musée canadien de la guerre. On est juste à côté des chutes de la Chaudière et la rivière des Outaouais. C'est une très belle place pour faire cette démonstration. Le musée opère sur le territoire non cédé du peuple algonquin Anishinaabe. On honore et on préserve ce legs, et l'histoire militaire autochtone est aussi l'histoire militaire canadienne. So what are we here to see today? We actually have vehicles from the War Museum collection that you're used to seeing out on the floor that are going to be out here driven right in front of you. And because it's the 80th anniversary of the Second World War, we have all Second World War vehicles here for you today. So these vehicles are very old, they're over 80 years old, and this really speaks to the skill and the dedication of the staff and volunteers that keep it going here. We're funded today by the Friends of the Canadian War Museum, so big ups to the Friends of the Canadian War Museum, the staff and the volunteers. Over 80 years old, pour plus de 80 ans, and it's running like a dream. So we have a fantastic staff over here. You'll notice the markings of the 1st Canadian Corps right over here, and this is actually a reconnaissance vehicle that would be used to scout enemy territory. Very well armored, no bolted on gun, and this one reaches a maximum. We have the so-called Grizzly. This is the Canadian version of the famous Sherman M4 tank. So many of you would have seen these in videos, media. This is the classic. Nous avons ici la Grizzly, la version canadienne du Sherman M4, probablement un des tanks les mieux connus de la Seconde Guerre mondiale. Already I can see I'm being drowned out by that radial Continental 575 engine. 5 long, l'engin, Radial 995. This is actually an aircraft engine that they stuck into these Sherman M4A1s, and as you can see, it makes a lot of noise. It has a very particular smell as well. Alors ça, c'est le moteur Continental R995, une odeur et un bruit très particulier, et à cause que c'est pas nécessairement facile à tourner dans le Sherman, on va juste faire un tour à 3 pions. So not very easy to make a quick tight turn in the Sherman. As you can see, we do a simple 3-point turn, no problem at all. So many people don't know about the Canadian-made Shermans, the Grizzlies. These are actually pretty rare. There's only 188 of them that were made. Fans of Kelly's Heroes will notice Oddball on here as a tribute, Mr. Donald Sutherland. And you can see the 30 caliber open on top of it. Alors, une mitrailleuse de 30 calibre ainsi qu'un canon de 75 mm. We have the classic 75mm cannon on the turret over there. Shermans, of course, could be equipped with 76mm or 17-pounders for firepower. Let's give a big hand to the Universal Carrier. This is the Mark II. Alors, c'est le transporteur universel, le Universal Carrier Mark II. Not making as much noise, so let's do a lot of applause. Lots of applause for the Universal Carrier. Some of you may have never seen this before, but this is actually the most produced tracked vehicle of the entire Second World War. Alors, c'est le véhicule acheté le plus produit de toute la Seconde Guerre mondiale. Over 100,000 made, and about 30,000 of those made right here in Canada. Alors, there's an important part missing, but this was done on purpose to actually make space as an armored personnel carrier.
That's our
Take
boy,
the turret off. Suddenly there's a little pouch in there that you carry around 10 passengers in there. Alors, le Kangaroo Ram, vous voyez, c'est pas comme les autres chars d'assaut, il n'y a pas de tourelle du tout, mais c'est fait exprès, c'est un transporteur de troupes blindé. You'll notice also the Kangaroo insignia. Alors, la poche du Kangaroo. You'll also notice a sort of a different Allied star on there. So normally the Allied star is pointing up. This one is a little bit tilted. This is indicating a Canadian vehicle. Alors l'étoile aussi est un peu inversée pour indiquer que ça c'est un véhicule non britannique, non américain, mais canadien bel et bien. The keen-eyed among you will also notice the little insignia of the 79th Armored Division. So the 1st Canadian Armored Personnel Carrier Regiment was attached to a British unit called the 79th Armored Division. That's the yellow triangle with the bull. Alors ça, c'était attaché à une unité britannique, la 79e Division blindée. If anyone's heard of the Funnies, lots of different tank modifications done in the Second World War. A lot of this was driven by the 79th right over here. Let's give a big hander, gros applaudissements pour la Ram Kangaroo. Radial engine in there, aircraft engine, the 9-cylinder Continental 975. Our staff at Volunteers have gotten very good at maintaining these things, and as you can see, they have again. But you have a front-wheel drive system. This is sort of the best of both worlds. in the Second World War. You get a bit more handling, a bit more maneuverability, and you also have that cross-country terrain capability. Alors, la semi-chenille, comme vous pouvez voir, c'est le meilleur des deux mondes. On peut mieux conduire et on a aussi les capacités à traverser toutes sortes de terrains. You'll see here the flash for the 2nd Canadian Anti-Tank Regiment on the back from the 2nd Division. You'll also see the very iconic 50 caliber rifle, the so-called Modus or M2. Alors vous voyez les insignes pour le régiment anti-blindé, le 2e régiment anti-blindé avec la 2e division avec le bleu. On voit aussi l'arme peut-être la plus iconique de la Seconde Guerre mondiale, la calibre 50, la Modus M2. You can also see the 30 caliber there tacked onto the back. Alors le calibre 30 aussi en arrière. And once again, we're going to do a quick 3-point turn. These guys clearly have their G1s. This is really good. And again, we're just going to level out. We're going to bring it back. And give them a nice big round of applause. Beaucoup d'applaudissements.
That's quiet, isn't it?
It is.
Anyone wondering about the anti-tank mines on the side? We have deactivated them, so don't worry about those anti-tank mines. Alors, les mines sur le côté sont désactivées. N'inquiétez pas. So I was really surprised when the Sexton avec la pièce d'artillerie le 25 livres. So this is built onto a Grizzly chassis, similar to the Kangaroo, similar to the Grizzly, but they put a field artillery piece for rapid deployment and setup. So this is the 25-pounder you can also see in the museum. Alors, sur un châssis, comme la Grizzly, comme la Ram, et on a inclus un canon 25 livres ici pour un déploiement rapide et effectif. So the Sexton really was the self-propelled artillery piece par excellence of Commonwealth allies in the Second World War. Sexton vraiment iconique pour les alliés du Commonwealth. And once again, you have that classic radial 975 Continental engine and those tracks that just require a little bit of setup to get around the tight hairpin turn. Alors, même moteur que la Kangaroo et que la Grizzly. Et encore une fois, un peu difficile à faire, un tour assez étroit. Alors, on fait un petit tour à 3, on retourne. Big hand of applause for the Sexton, please. Un applaudissement pour la Sexton et l'équipage aussi. Specialists that are working on these vehicles all the time. They're usually tucked away in the tank shop. It can be hard to interface with them. Merci beaucoup à tout le monde qui a été là. Here comes the Scout. Here comes the Lynx Mark II again. So they are going to do one last lap and park up by the barricade. Alors, le véhicule de reconnaissance, le Lynx Mark II, va encore faire un tour et se parquer devant les barricades. Give them a hand. Yeah. Up next, it is the Universal Carrier Mark II. Alors, la porteuse d'essai de Universal Carrier Mark II qui va se parquer. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a choke point off the hill. It's only about a 4 or 5 foot clearance, so we'll just be patient and let people siphon off. Pas beaucoup de place pour sortir rapidement de la colline. Je vous remercie de votre patience et on va tous pouvoir sortir à bon temps. So here comes the half-track M9A1, about to do one last turn. Alors c'est la half-track M9 en 1. So doing another nice tight turn. Just enough clearance with those front steering wheels. Alors les roues dans l'avant donnant un peu plus de contrôle. Et
grasshopper right in the face.
Wow. Ils ont bien fait ça. Well done. Well done. All right. The full 180. Not so easy to do. Well done, everybody. Okay. Up next, it's going to be the louder stuff. Alors, les choses un peu plus brillantes qui arrivent en prochain.
It's going to parallel park that thing.
Probably easier than most cars.
So those V8 engines in the Universal Carrier and the
Yeah, you
Lynx,
might want to move there.
not quite delivering the power as the 9-cylinder Continentals. Alors, les moteurs V8, pas exactement les mêmes que les prochains. On a la Ram Kangaroo qui revient, qui remonte la colline. On va faire très attention de ne pas se basculer. We're going to be very careful not to bump into each other, whether we are getting off the hill or we're driving a tank. Here comes that Ram Kangaroo. That Mike Miller, I see. So again, those who follow the Instagram account, you may see some familiar faces inside of the vehicles. Ceux qui suivent le compte Instagram, si vous savez, vous allez peut-être voir des vaches que vous connaissez déjà. So here comes the Ram Kangaroo. Once again, it's going to need a little 3-point turn over here.
You'll be more realistic. If you got one from the used one, they wouldn't paint it. They give you one. Right?
We're just going to back up a tiny bit. On fait un petit reculon. Doucement, doucement.
Yeah, it's bigger than I thought it would be.
And we should be able to clear those barricades here with this angle. On va faire un petit tour. Oh yeah, lots of space, surely. Beaucoup de place. Excellent, excellent. So many of these larger vehicles are actually assembled just up the way at the Montreal Locomotive Works. Alors, il y a beaucoup de ces véhicules qui ont été construits à Montréal dans la fabrique de locomotives. Alors, c'est vraiment des véhicules très locaux. These are very local vehicles, in fact. All right, looks like we have, is that the Grizzly I see? So the Grizzly, the Canadian Sherman, coming up next, navigating that hill like it's no problem at all. Alors, on a la Grizzly, le Sherman canadien. Folks, I'll just ask if you're bunching up by the side to watch, just make sure you're behind the red line, make sure you keep that passenger here. Thank you very much. Alors, on voit la Grizzly, le Sherman canadien, la 4. Hear those Canadian drive-in tracks squeaking away. Alors ça, c'est les chenilles canadiennes drive-in sec. Donc il n'y a pas de caoutchouc dessus. This is no rubber on these, just to save a little bit of rubber. And once again, you're going to see that classic 3-point turn. Don't worry about the creaking, folks. It's normal. Just like when I get up in the morning. It's no problem. My doctor says don't worry. Encore une fois, il va tourner juste un petit peu. Il devrait avoir beaucoup de place pour se parker juste en avant de moi, où on a en fait écrit stationnement Grizzly. Here comes the Grizzly. The keen-eyed among you may have noticed the G on the front. That's for the General Steel company that did the casting for this hull, the classic sort of smooth M4A1 cast hull. And we'll just give him a little bit more space. Again, folks, please stay behind the red line until we get the okay. So, la 25 livres, automoteur, le canon automoteur qui s'approche. Un dernier véhicule de la Seconde Guerre mondiale pour vous. Encore une fois, on les applaudit. Let's give them all a big hand. So for those who want to see the vehicles up close, just wait for our okay, and we'll let you approach the barricades. Alors pour ceux qui veulent voir de plus proche, s'il te plaît, attendez qu'on vous donne le signal. Remember, there's also lots of other War Machines activities. We have modelers, we have all kinds of reduced scale models of vehicles that we definitely do not have in the museum, so you can see a lot of rare vehicles with the modelers. We've got the collections, we've got people who have brought their own collections of military equipment and uniforms. We have arts activities for the kids. We've got the Canadian...
After the okay was given, Everybody went down the hill to have a closer look at the vehicles. Tried to give you an idea of how many people were there. This was the 10 o'clock show, or sorry, make that 11 o'clock show on the Saturday. There was 2 each day. I think it was 11 and 2 p.m. So this was the first show of 4 for the weekend. And as you can see, there was a lot of happy people running around. My hat's off again to the volunteers. You can see them interacting with the people, answering questions, quite happy to talk about it. And let me tell you, a number of them are customers of the store. That makes them modelers. So not only did they get to make them in miniature, but they get to play on the real thing, which is really exciting for them. And it's exciting to just be around them when they're excited, as it's contagious. But all in all, it was a fantastic event. I'm really glad I went, and I'm glad I could share this with you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.